This tutorial is going to show you how you can set up proportional brushing by adding on to the first example where we computed the percent of total. So one of the key takeaways from this is that you can use a single set to enable many coordinated behaviors. So the same set can proportionally brush one visualization while computing a percent of total in a pie chart in a different visualization. So we're going to evolve what we had built from scratch for example 1. So let's go back to this view here, and actually let me just rearrange this in preparation for the coming bar chart. All right, so the first thing we need to do is look at our market value by player position. So let's bring this in here, and we'll just sort those and then fit this to the entire view. So I would encourage you to watch the demonstration of video 1 if you're like, why is this starting in the middle of something? It is evolving and continuing the example. So then we can add in the team, and I'll just sort this in the legend. And so now, going back to our dashboard, we can add in this view of player position. And so as we make new selections here, it's that single selection is enabling a coordinated interaction across all 3 resulting visualizations here. So the set just is automatically inheriting the previous setup. So now the last thing we need to do here is enable the sort, where we can sort by the overall value, which is what it's doing right now, but equally sort by the selection, so these blue bars, or sort by the percent of total. So let's go back to this view here and add those in. So we can do this through a parameter to pick which level to sort by, and then a calculation which will return the correct measure to sort by dependent on what's selected in the parameter. So first thing we want to do is create this parameter where you sort by different values. So there's 3 values for it: overall, selection, or the percent of total. So we'll just go hit OK. Now we also need to compute the 3 separate measures that we can sort by. So we have the overall. For the selection, we want to conditionally return the market value for teams that are in our set. So the way to express that through a calculation is to reference the set in the conditional clause of your if logic statement. So if teams, then return the market value, and otherwise don't return anything. And so it's not immediately obvious why this syntax works, but a team, a set, which is in or out, is equivalent to a Boolean, true or false. So in is equivalent to true, out is equivalent to false. And whenever you're writing logic statements, you always must put a Boolean condition following the if. And so that is why you can directly reference a set. And so then, if we bring this into our visualization here, you'll notice that this value here is exactly equal to the blue bar. So we can also sort then by our market value for the selection. Our percent of total is then going to be the market value for the selection divided by the market value overall. And let me just go remove the set. And so then you can see that it's computing that percent of total. So let's go drag this into our data model here and name this our percent of total. And so then we can create we don't need to visualize all 3, we just want to have the facility to sort by all 3 through a selection driven by this parameter. So we can reference this parameter in a calculated field. So we're going to use a case statement. And so when the parameter has the value of overall, then we want to return the first value, the overall market value. And then when it has a value of selection, then we want to return the market value for the selection, so the second one. And then otherwise, the third condition, we want to return the percent of total. And so this becomes our sort. So from that, I've just hit apply. It's been added into our measures. And so then we can apply a computed sort on the position here. So we're going to sort by a field, descending, and we want to sort it by the dynamic sort as opposed to any one of those three fields. So let's hit OK. OK, and so now overall it's sorting by the first bar, selection it's sorting by the second one, and then percent of total it's sorting by the third one. So we can see that that's now working correctly. So we don't need to visualize these, we can simply remove them, and then I'm holding down Control to duplicate the market value there, add that as a percent of total, and we want to compute that using the set, along the set, so then every row is going to add up to 100%. So now when we go back to our dashboard, we can display this parameter here, and so now we have that nice interactive experience where we can modify how these are sorted while also proportionally brushing along a number of countries.